So I used to go on long walks late at night, and on this one particular walk, I had borrowed a friend's iPod, and I was totally like just listening to 1979 over and over and over again. This is a Smashing Pumpkins song. I don't feel the need to clarify that, but some of you might not know that song, and so that might be necessary. But it's the night I meet Melinda, and so I meet her walking, and one of the things that stuck out was she was walking by on her way back from this like local bar that's down the road from our house, our old house, and she was walking back, and she like stops me and asks if I know who she is, and I kind of recognized her, kind of not, and so. I didn't want to be rude. I'm like, oh yeah, and I know you, and I'm trying to like place her face to her name because I know her face, but I don't know her name, which is usually the case in these situations for me. And she goes on and she's like, my name's Melinda, and she tells me how I know her, and I'm like, oh yeah, like I do, I remember you, and she's like, and invites us to this party. At her house, like me and my roommates, I'm by myself at the time. She's like, "Yo, you and your friends should come. We're having this party," and I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds great." And on the like as I'm like walking, like getting ready, like, "Oh, good night," and all that, I'm getting ready to continue on my walk. She's like, and don't forget my name. What's my name? And I'm like, "Oh, it's Melinda." And she's like, "That's right. Don't forget it." Like, and that stuck out, And so, we start hanging out a little bit at that party and stuff. And about a month later. I moved to Little Rock. It's odd because Melinda at this point lives right down the road from my old house. Like, not present day. At that time that we met, she was literally, like 5 houses down from my old house. So it's crazy, kind of now about how close it was. In fact, Melinda can kind of go back and several times has pointed out like how crazy it is because Melinda and I wouldn't have met had her friend Greg not moved in with me. And in fact, Greg wouldn't have moved in with us had he not been able to find a replacement roommate for the place that he was originally going to live, which happened to be our friend Tim's old roommate. So it was like these kind of, I don't know, like this Magnolia, isn't that a coincidence kind of moment. I don't know if you've seen that movie. If you haven't, you should totally go see it. But it's just super strange how that all lined up. Obviously I'm glad that it did. It ended up in us getting together and getting engaged. But she comes to our housewarming party because she knows Greg, and we've all hung out. And there, we spend our time like dancing and that's what we do at parties. You turn your favorite songs up loud. You make a playlist, and it's this kind of like competition of who's going to bring up the most nostalgic songs that are going to make you be like, yeah, fuck yeah, and get into it. But that's kind of what we end up doing at parties, and so like Melinda and I are just like jumping up and down, dancing, having a good time, and we end up, I don't know, I guess we end up hooking up. I don't know. Is there like a non-awkward way of saying that about your fiance over a YouTube video of Call of Duty? Is end up hooking up, and so like the next day I had this class I remember, and I hadn't done that in a while, and so I'm like, well, what's the next proper step here? Because you don't want to be that guy that doesn't call, and so I'm trying to get a hold of Melinda's number, and plus, I'm interested in her. There is this whole backlash though, because I've just hooked up with this girl, and I'm not quite sure if I'm over the last girl that I was talking to, and so if you're me and you're, I don't know, neurotic, I guess is the good word for it. You're weighing and overanalyzing all these things of like, did I make the right choice, and what the hell do I do now, and is this what I really want, and sometimes I think it's okay to do that. Most of the time I say, just go with your gut, because you gotta be able to, I don't know, listen to that. And I think doing, just kind of going off your gut feeling is gonna like at least point you in the right direction of you heading toward where you actually want to be, instead of quote unquote like where you think you should be, and so it took me a minute to do that. In fact, like Melinda and I are kind of seeing each other and go on a couple of dates. And then I start thinking too much, and I end up calling it off. And like this is around probably like October, November of 2010, and so I call it off, and it's super awkward because I don't want to hurt her feelings, and we were still like trying to be friends, and we ended up hanging out a bunch, which was like mind-blowing because, of course I liked her and wanted to see her, and I didn't want her to be hurt, and I didn't want her to think that I was just being a D-bag, and so we keep hanging out and all this, and eventually, like around Christmas time, I'm like fast-forwarding a bunch because I want to get it in on this video, damn it. Around Christmas time, like I get like this wisdom tooth infection, and it drove me crazy. Like I just one of my wisdom teeth got impacted, and it just like locked my jaw shut, and so I'm like sitting around being miserable. And earlier that week, like before this happened, I'm talking with a friend at dinner, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm actually gonna like date Melinda because like I'd have plenty of time to think, and I was like finally at that point where the few times Carrie would communicate with me, I'd be like, well, like whatever kind of attitude of like, we're just jerking each other around. You kind of get tired of it, and I never even actually like mentioned this to Carrie. I just kind of let it die a death. So whether or not there was resolution there's a resolution there for me. It was just one of the few times where I was like, I'm not even going to search it out if there was resolution for you or what your thoughts were on it because, well, whatever. I've made my peace with it, and that's that kind of thing. So that's how that ended up ending. Finally, I just kind of was like, oh, okay, that's nice, and not reply to a message. Just write it out, and I was ready to date Melinda. I was wanting to start something real with her because we click in that way. Melinda is the first girl that I've dated where I feel like I have a true partner and can communicate with, and that sees eye to eye with me. And so, I go to ask her, but my fucking jaw is locked shut and I can't do it. And so she brings over Inception and some chocolate ice cream. It's like all I can eat at the time. I can't even eat really anything. And I'm trying to watch Inception, but I'm just I can't stop thinking about the jaw, and I'm on 1 billion milligrams of ibuprofen. And so I just end up on again, off again, passing out, and I'm not able to do it. So finally, fast forward a little bit more, and I'm able to ask right before she goes on this trip. I think it's right before. These details kind of get a little fuzzy to me, but I'm able to ask right before, and she's got to we got to have this big talk, and it's kind of this moment of truth where my dog is whining in the back room. Stop, Baloo. And, where we kind of got to talk it out on what made me want to date her. So there is this moment where I have to tell her why I want to date her and kind of prove that self to it. I was not able to fit it in on this video. Who knew the last part would be so long but at least now I actually met her. So, well, what the hell? We'll get one more gameplay in and kind of clean up the details. So take this time, guys. If there are any questions, specific questions you had to ask, it might not even take a whole gameplay, so maybe I'll split it up or something like that. But we met her, and I just asked her out, and now I'm having to prove myself, and I guess I'll kind of get into how we started dating. If you guys want. If not, we can end it here, because I've met her. And, I guess the rest is history. But let me know. Thanks for putting up with it for so long, guys. Can't thank you enough for any comments or likes or whatever YouTube-y type support things you guys do. It's awesome. I've drugged this out like I always do. So I am going to say bye-bye here, and I'll talk to you guys next time.